How's it going, guys? I'm your host Carbon Gaming. Welcome back to another Adventure Quest video. And for today's video, as you guys can tell from the title, we have some very special content. Okay, we are going to be doing a Q&A with one of the Adventure Quest team. Okay, and for today, the very first episode, we actually have Cray. Now, I plan to make this into an entire series, not just for the Adventure Quest team, but I've also asked some people from the Dragon Faber team as well, and you'll see throughout this series, most of the questions will be similar, but I will have one or two different questions depending on what different roles they play inside of the game team. Okay, so don't rush me and don't rush them for this. Okay, the videos will come out once they are ready to be released. Okay, so there might be long breaks in between each episode that's released, because one is I have to wait for them to reply me. I really don't want to rush them because of their busy schedule. And the second thing is these type of videos take a little bit more editing on my end as well. So the episodes are going to be released a little bit slower, and it's not going to be, there's not really going to be any like set date. Like, it's not going to be a weekly thing, it's not going to be a monthly thing. The episodes will release whenever they are ready to be released. Okay, so the staff has very kindly one, allowed me to ask them the questions, and two, taken time out of their busy schedules to answer all of these questions. So I'm very thankful for that, for giving me the chance to be able to, you know, interview them and then answer all of the questions that I have. Now, because of different time zones and because of both our busy schedules, I've decided that a written Q&A would be better. I initially wanted to do like a voice or video call with them, but because of the different time zones, I'm in Asia and they are all the way in the US, that's not very fitting, and on top of that, they are probably very busy as well. So I didn't really want to impose on them too much. Okay, that's why I decided to go with like a written Q&A of sorts. So I'm going to read out the questions that I have posed to them, and then I'm going to read out their replies, and then afterwards I'm going to give a few of my thoughts on it. Okay, so the questions and the answers, I will put it up on the screen, and right now on the screen you guys will be seeing just some clips of me farming. Okay, don't comment too much on the clips, because one, I'm just trying out this, I just got this build recently, and two, I'm still trying to figure out how exactly to farm better with this build. So there are going to be a few mistakes, a few misclicks here and there with regards to the farming clips, but you know, that's not the point of this video. So focus on the Q&A part. Okay, I will have everything up on the screen, and their answer I will copy and paste exactly up on the screen as to what you guys are seeing right now. So I'm not going to edit any part of their answer, and I'm not going to paraphrase it either, so I'm just going to read it out. Okay, so without further ado, let us begin. First question, can you tell us a little about yourself? Okay, so this was his reply. I'm Adventure Quest's primary narrative designer and have been throwing piles of words at the game since Harvest 2018. I handle the writing for the main story and most side stories, while also managing the game's expansive lore. We have a lot of background elements to draw from and a lot of loose ends accumulated over 19 years of development, which means there are a lot of stories to resolve and many exciting things that players have been wanting to see more of. I've dabbled in modding and voice work as well, although I have neither the time nor setup for either nowadays due to personal circumstances. This has unfortunately forced me to leave several projects in the drawing board and step aside from others entirely. Okay, so this is quite interesting. Voice work. Okay, voice work is not really something we've seen inside of AE's games in general, at least not for the games that I've played through before. So that's quite interesting. Okay, TTRPGs are simultaneously my hobby and the bane of my existence, because scheduling group activities is like herding box cats without boxes. Okay, right, let us move on to the next question. How did you join / first know about AE? I first found out about Artix Entertainment partway through the Devourer saga, and was an active player for several years before dropping off the face of the internet and exploring other interests when I came back. Before coming back, I assumed that the game had stagnated and honestly lost interest, only to be proven immensely wrong later at the time. AQ and DF were among the few games I could run, and trying them out again made for a rapid-fire succession of surprises. I was later brought into the team after submitting Teeming Mutant Vegetables, the Harvest 2018 quest, as part of an application. Ooh, so this is quite nice. It turns out that Cray is actually just like you and me. He also started out as a player after he submitted his application for one of the quests, you guys should definitely go ahead and replay that quest during Harvest Fest when you guys have the time, so you guys know where Cray really started off from. And wow, it's nice to see that he is now part of the team as one of their writers. Okay, so the next part, I asked a series of 3 separate questions. I'm going to combine all the 3 questions into one because he only gave me one answer. Okay, so the third question was AE your first choice when selecting a company to join. Fourth question, what attracted you to come work for AE? And fifth question, what do you think you will be doing now if you weren't working for AE? Okay, so his reply was with apologies, I'll have to skip the specifics of those 3 questions. They involve private details, conversations with several other people, and such aren't my place to disclose. For a partial general answer, I was confident in my ability to manage the lore through familiarity with Valorant's style and characters. I'm particularly grateful to Hollow for the opportunity to take up this legacy, and to Kamui for referring me to him. My situation would be significantly more difficult without them. Instead, I get to work doing what I do best, making people suffer with bad puns. Narrative design. Okay, so completely respect them. Okay, please do respect their privacy as well. I also told them that if there are any questions that they don't feel comfortable answering or they don't wish to answer, it's totally their choice. You know, they can choose not to answer it. Okay, so he decided not to go into the specifics of this, so that's okay. Moving on, question number 6. Favorite colleague in the office. Kamui has been my friend for some time, but IMR is best girl. Cam knows what he did, and I am totally not just mad that I didn't come up with that pun myself. Question 7. If there is a chance to collaborate with developers from other AE games, which developer/game team would you most like to collaborate with? Dragon Fable. They have a similar project scope, albeit with a fundamentally different engine. Their animation freedom with the player character model, Mr. Green Guy put some serious work in, let me tell you. Makes for really cool moments. In addition, Dove and Valerius are another dream team, and I get along pretty well with the DF community as well. They've already had to bear enough of my puns that their sanity is like so many pottery shards after Link has gone through a room. Okay. Nice. Okay, so one day, you know, we can all hope DF and AQ collaborate, make it a big thing. I mean, there's already a lot of DF stuff inside of AQ with the recent Dragonaut set. I would like to see a little bit more AQ inside of DF, and maybe one day, just one day, you know, don't know when it might be, we can see a collaboration between both of the teams. I think it'll be really, really amazing, epic content, okay? Next one. Do you play AQ in your spare time as a player instead of a staff/tester? If yes, how long or often? I play an hour or 2 at a time between releases outside of testing, going on quests as a strength dex intelligence hybrid with a mix of offensive and defensive gear. Nice, so pretty much a meta build for a strength dex intelligence hybrid. Mix of offensive and defensive gear. That's a bit interesting, okay, because hybrids usually go full offensive. Okay, that's cool. Next one, do you play any other AE games? I played through all of MechQuest and still play Dragon Fable. I played AQ Worlds before disappearing for a while, but catching up with an MMO is too time consuming of a prospect right now. Do you play any non-AE games? If yes, can you name your favorite? My video game backlog may be humble, but it still haunts me like the stuff of nightmares. I play a lot of games when I can spare the time, but it's difficult to name favorites because my tastes are pretty varied. I have a soft spot for anything that comes out of Supergiant Games. Their passion and mastery for entwining the technical and artistic aspects that comprise a video game are inspiring. Guild Wars and Guild Wars 2 rank pretty high as well. Elder Scrolls and Fallout games may be riddled with issues, but they are among my favorite experiences. And one day, just one day, I'll fire up NetHack for a tourist run without being immediately killed by a gnome with a wand. One thing you like about AQ. The lore, hands down. Federing's work was what fostered my interest in writing in the first place, and its positive influence during my formative years is difficult to overstate. The vast lore surrounding the Galen and Uncreation was that first big bang of creative potential that opened my mind to worlds of possibilities. On a smaller scale, the way it shapes lore at every layer of abstraction makes for a diverse world with endless potential. A world that can have very different societies, whole civilizations at wildly different levels of technological and magical development, and a variety of mystical developments is very fun to work with. Okay, so he likes the story of AQ. That's nice, which reminds me, I am slowly starting to get a little bit more invested into the entire AQ story and lore, and I have to say, it definitely is, it definitely doesn't lose out to Dragon Fable, which is obviously more well known for its storyline. If you really go ahead and read through AQ's lore, it is really quite interesting as well. So I highly advise you guys to, you know, take a look at the story for those of you guys who are just playing AQ for the gameplay, because the story is obviously another very huge aspect of an RPG game, right? Alright, next question. One thing you don't like about AQ. We have some awkward technical limitations as a result of the engine's age. While I am consistently impressed with the ways in which everyone in the team works around the stricter obstacles, it is also nail-biting to know the great things they are fully capable of but miss out on doing. Okay, so sadly the game engine limitation is something that has been plaguing the staff for quite a while. There's a lot of things that I believe they want to do but can't do because of the game engine's limitations, and not just Cray, but I believe several other staff members have mentioned this somewhere before. So yeah, it's a real pity, but hopefully as the game progresses and advances, we'll see some improvements to the game engine and maybe we can have some nicer stuff. Okay, one thing you want to change about AQ. If I could snap my fingers and magically port the game to give the team a less restrictive engine to work with, you'd think me a member of the Addams family. Actually, folks probably think that already, but for something more pertinent to my work, I'll have to say quest organization. Almost 2 decades of content with several arcs unfinished have resulted in a quest backlog that is realistically outside of a small team's ability to reorganize while continuing the essential production of new content. I'd love to be able to fix that for them, or at least have a more accessible method for future content. Okay, so I fully agree with this. Some of the old quests, they are a bit all over the place. The team has been trying really hard in recent years to, you know, fix that and make everything flow nicely, especially Cray, since he's a writer. So huge shout out and kudos to him, and of course the entire team for trying to, you know, sort out the lore and the storyline and all that, so we have a more defined storyline that we can follow throughout Adventure Quest as a whole. Your favorite class or mastercraft set in the game and why? The Haunted Dragonlord set. Dragonlord Keep is one of my favorite to have worked on, and the set has some of my favorite mechanics in the game. Of course, the latest set to ever come inside of Adventure Quest, the Dragonlord Keep set that was just released last year. Okay, it had a fantastic storyline to go along with it, and of course a very strong SP healing mechanic that everybody is abusing now. Not sure if that's the right word, but yeah, okay. Next one, your proudest release. The answer. Launching the finale of the first summer event I wrote was a huge confidence booster and something I've been looking forward to all year. I was blown away by the teamwork leading up to it, as well as the player response. We got to take the story in an all-new direction that would priorly seem unthinkable, and set a new tone for the world going forward while still being faithful to our roots. I have to agree. The answer is a really great quest. In fact, one of the better ones that I've seen recently, not just story-wise, but gameplay-wise, being able to play as War, how he turned into War and all that. Really fun. I definitely hope to see more of such future releases, and I'm really excited for what is to come. Okay, one secret the players don't know. I was actually very insecure about pulling off the staple AQ humor, or humor in general really. It was hard to consider myself a funny guy in any capacity, but I made a leap of faith and unleashed the Schadenfreude. Okay, sorry if I'm butchering this word. I don't really know how to pronounce this word, neither do I know what it means. So for those of you guys who know what this word means, please search up in the dictionary and let me know, okay? So I think he pulled off the AQ humor pretty well. He could still, there's a little bit of it that he could still work on, but in general, I think he did a great job so far, especially with the more light-hearted quests. Of course, AQ has taken a little bit of a more serious tone recently with the whole thing about us being war and all that, but for the more light-hearted quests, you can see the humor sort of shining through, you know, the old AQ was, not AQ, sorry, the old AQ humor with bad puns and all that sort of stuff, okay? One tip for new or returning players. Don't rush to getting all of the top recommended gear as a self-imposed condition to get to enjoy the game. It's easy to hit a difficulty spike when coming back or entering your first tough quest, but filling up the elements with basic gear of your level will have you covered to start with. Whatever you have fun with matters more than what deals the most damage on the first turn, and that's what's the most fun to you, all the more power to you. Fully agree. First things first, definitely get something to cover all of the elements. Afterwards, I would say, you know, as you are leveling up, don't be in a rush to level up to max level. Unless you're just after the best gear and wants to deal the most amount of damage. If that's fun for you, then sure, go ahead and grind it out and then get all the top tier equipment in the game. Or not, just enjoy the process, you know, have fun with different builds. Have fun with the different classes since classes seem to work better for under level characters as compared to Mastercraft sets. They are also a lot easier to get. So definitely go ahead and play around with classes, because usually you won't really get a chance to play around with classes much at max level, except maybe for the Knight class, the recent Paladin class, and of course, what's coming this year is the Necromancer class, okay? So until everything else gets revamped, I would strongly advise everyone to go ahead and play out the other class quests that have not yet been revamped while you are still on your leveling up journey, okay? Next question. One thing you want players to understand but most or all still don't. The player base isn't really so monolithic that there's a common misconception on that scale, but one thing does come to mind. You generally can't have a build that's both one size fits all and one trick pony. The more you specialize, the more likely you are to have a tougher experience where you take your build outside of its niche. There are a few ways in which long quests could give better warning or chances to adjust though, and I'll see what I can do without compromising immersion. Also, the Galleon is a single word. Okay, first things first, I have to agree, build diversity and all that, especially with the Quad Force item recently, there's quite a lot of controversy surrounding that, but you know, I fully agree. The more you specialize in, the more it's going to be harder to have your build do something else that's not meant for your build. So I fully agree with that. And wow, I actually didn't know this as well. The Galleon is a single word. Oh my gosh, guys, I guess you learn something new every day. Comment down below how many of you guys didn't know that the Galleon is a single word. Damn, I had no idea. So many years of playing AQ, I thought it was a separate word. Okay, now we know. Next one, question 19. Any plans for new classes after ArchMage? There will be a question for Hollow, although there was a statement about seeing what we could do for Rangers. Ooh, okay, I have not seen that statement yet, but ArchMage is planned for 2022. This year we are doing Necromancer. So 2023, maybe you could see something for Rangers. Ooh, that'll be very exciting. Wow. Nice, nice. Okay. Question 20. Your favorite storyline in the game not written by you and why? The Devourer saga, hands down. The Devourer turning out to be fundamentally a good guy without losing any of the moral ambiguity or the terrifying implications of his mission was one of my favorite twists. Even if parts of it haven't aged well and a lot of loose ends remain, I'll always have a special place in my heart for his epic storytelling. Okay, so Devourer saga, I haven't really played through or read through the storyline much. I'm only playing through it as the new the revamp comes out, which has slowed down recently because of Frostvale and all the Mastercraft set things that's been going on. But you know, we'll continue playing through that as the revamp comes out. We'll probably see more of it this year, and I really hope that once everything is tied up nicely, once the storyline flows nicely, I'm sure it'll be a really enjoyable story. Okay. Nearing the end now. Any big plans, ideas you have for the game currently but are unable to carry out due to lack of time, manpower, or any other reason? If it's a secret, you can choose not to share. Once I finish Redacted, it will be nice to get an opportunity to data expunged. The real mind blower is a bit of a longer explanation though, so please bear with me. Overseer access required. Memetic Q agent deployed. Or is this Memetic? Okay, I'm not sure how to pronounce that word either, but okay, so obviously it's a secret, he can't share. Fair enough. Any thoughts on the AQ community, forums, Discord, Reddit, YouTube, etc.? You mean there are people out there who not only read my puns but want more? You bet. Okay, where do you see the game in 5 years? Mobile? It's a tricky age. I hope AQ will have an easier time getting used to being an independent adult in this economy that many of us have. I'll be fully supportive of any choices AQ makes in life, of course, unless those choices involve putting pineapple on pizza. Hey! Pineapple on pizza is good, okay? What? Can't believe he's not a pineapple pizza lover. Okay, whatever. How many of you guys actually like pineapple on pizza? I love my Hawaiian pizzas. What about you guys? Okay. And daring to blame Hawaii for that heresy. Come on, man. Really gotta give it a shot. Pineapple pizza is great. I've been eating pineapple pizza all my life, man. Okay, next question. Do you think the game is in a good state right now? If yes or no, why? Somewhere in the middle and definitely running towards a yes. It's no secret that we have several unbalanced items causing multiple broken interactions, primarily the Purple Rain Essence Orb loops with quick cast status sources. Some overperforming modern items are a concern as well. Quest organization / ease of access is also in a state that's not very friendly to new and returning players. However, there are solutions in sight for all major balance concerns, and I'm crossing my fingers for a chance to better sort future quests. Okay, fair enough. We do have some items that needs balancing. I believe we'll see the Purple Rain or Essence Orb nerfs pretty soon. Maybe it might be even before this video gets released. Who knows? Okay, last question. Your aspiration for AQ. I've been focusing on wrapping up loose ends and unfinished stories since first joining the team. This is my specialty in narrative design, so I took to it fairly naturally, but not without having to learn from some mistakes of my own, of course. After 2 years of weaving such threads into my writing, we are approaching some major unfinished threads. I'm eager to see the day when the culmination of the effort allows for a whole new direction, focusing primarily on new stories and showing how the world of lore has changed. Okay, some very big aspirations for AQ, and of course I'm very excited to see what the future brings for this game. And that pretty much wraps up the first episode of Q&A with the developers. Okay, so once again, huge shout out and thank you to Cray for taking time out of his busy schedule to answer my questions. And if you guys like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more of such future content, be sure to subscribe to this channel because we have more episodes coming real soon. And yeah, that's going to be it for this video. I'm your host, Cray Gaming. Peace out.